Hello friends, welcome to English Book Club. Today we will be talking about the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. What the rich teach their kids about money, that the poor and middle class do not. Written by Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki is the founder of Rich Dad Company, a private financial education company that provides personal finance and business education to people through books and videos. Rich Dad Poor Dad book is the story of a person who has two fathers. The first was his biological father, the poor dad, and the other was the father of his childhood best friend, Mike, the rich dad. Both fathers taught the author how to achieve success but with very disparate approaches. One died leaving tens of millions of dollars to his family, charities, and his church. The other left bills to be paid. It became evident to the author which father's approach made more financial sense. Throughout the book, the author compares both fathers, their principles, ideas, financial practices, and degree of dynamism, and how his real father, the poor and struggling but highly educated man, paled against his rich dad in terms of asset building and business acumen. The author compares his poor dad to those people who are perpetually scampering in the rat race, helplessly trapped in a vicious cycle of needing more but never able to satisfy their dreams for wealth because of one glaring lack: financial literacy. They spend so much time in school learning about the problems of the world, but have not acquired any valuable lessons about money, simply because it is never taught in school. Money is not taught in schools. Schools focus on scholastic and professional skills, but not on financial skills. One of the reasons the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class struggles in debt is that the subject of money is taught at home, not in school. Most of us learn about money from our parents. Poor dad. The author compares his poor dad to the millions of fathers who encourage their sons to do well in school so they could get a good job with a good company. Poor dad believed in the traditional principles of working hard, saving money, and not buying material things that one cannot afford. He believed that having a good job with a solid company is what one should aspire for. Hence he expresses disappointment when his son leaves the employ of a large, reputable corporation. Poor dad looks to education as the passport to success. He held a doctorate degree, went to Ivy League universities, but was always struggling financially. Poor dad was more interested in a good education than the subject of money. Rich dad. The author wrote that it was when he was 9 years old that he started realizing that his rich dad made much more sense than his poor dad. It was from rich dad that the author learned not to say, "I can't afford it," but instead to ask, "How can I afford it?" Rich dad believed that the words, "I can't afford it," shut down your brain. "How can I afford it?" opens up possibilities, excitement, and dreams. The Son. The Robert Kiyosaki. The author begins his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by saying that he is fortunate in having had two fathers. He compares and contrasts both fathers' views about working hard, getting an education, saving and investing, and realizing how habits of the rich and poor significantly differ. He attributes his financial acumen through the many conversations he carried out with his rich dad. The author takes a common-sense approach to the subject of money and emphasizes the need for accounting knowledge so that the reader clearly understands what assets and liabilities are. It is obvious that the author places much importance on accounting knowledge, no matter how boring it is, because he says it is the most important subject in your life. If you are new to our channel, consider subscribing English Book Club now and press the bell icon. Because this is the destination to learning, growth, and success. And if you like the video, please share it with everyone. This video can help a lot of people changing their lives. Let's begin with 9 lessons from the book. Chapter number 1. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The story of Robert Kiyosaki and Mike starts in 1956 Hawaii, when both boys were 9 years old. The boys dedicated their free time to learning about finance and economics from Mike's father, the rich dad. The first lesson Mike's dad made the boys experience was hatred of the rat race. He was able to achieve this by making the boys work in one of his grocery stores for 3 hours for 10 cents an hour pay. Within a few weeks, Kiyosaki, tired of being exploited for labor, demanded that he receive a raise, but instead, Mike's father cut his pay and told him to work for free. The lesson to get out of the rat race, and instead of spending your whole life working to put a little money in your pocket and a bunch of money in someone else's pocket, Have people work hard to put money in your pocket. Out of all the lessons that were taught to the boys, this one was the most important. Businesses that do not require my presence, I own them, but they are managed or run by other people. If I have to work there, it's not a business. It becomes my job. Chapter number 2. The rich don't work for money. This chapter talks about people who are more comfortable in playing it safe because they were not taught early to take risks. The author develops the ideas that the poor and the middle class work for money, fear and greed cause ignorance and poverty, and the importance of using one's emotions versus thinking with emotions. The author also stresses that opportunities in life come and go. The rich recognize them instantly and turn them into gold bullions. Others do not see these opportunities because they're too busy seeking money and security. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. If money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Chapter number 3. Why teach financial literacy? One specific lesson is meant to teach people not to be wise with your money once you have it, but rather be smart with your money before you have it. In a way, don't try to build a skyscraper or even a house without building a strong foundation first. According to Kiyosaki, there is one rule and only rule that can help a person to build a strong foundation. Know the difference between an asset and a liability, and make sure that you only control assets. He says, intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Chapter number 4. Mind your own business. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. The author remarks that individuals need to mind their own business if they wish to become financially self-sufficient. They shouldn't mind their employer's business, they should strive for ways to become their own boss and nurture their own businesses. According to Kiyosaki, real assets fall into the following categories. 1. Stocks. 2. Bonds. 3. Income-generating real estate. 4. Notes, IOUs. 5. Royalties from intellectual property such as music, scripts, and patents. 6. Anything else that has value, produces income or appreciates, and has a ready market. Chapter number 5. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. My rich dad just played the game smart, and he did it through corporations, the biggest secret of the rich. The rich possess the knowledge and savoir-faire to use the power of the corporation to protect and enhance their assets. The advantage of a corporation versus that of the individual lies in how corporations pay taxes. Individuals earn money, pay taxes on that money, and live with what's left. The corporation, on the other hand, earns money, spends everything it can, and is taxed on anything that's left. Chapter number 6. The rich invent money. The author develops the concept of self-doubt. He says that each person is born with talent but that talent is suppressed because of self-doubt and fear. He remarks that it's not necessarily the educated smart people who get ahead but the bold and adventurous. People never get ahead financially even if they have plenty of money because they have opportunities that they fail to tap, he stresses. Most of them just sit around waiting for the opportunity to happen. The author's idea is that people create luck. They should not wait around for it. He says it's the same with money. It has to be created. Chapter number 7. Work to learn, don't work for money. The author mentions management skills to get success. Management of cash flow. Management of systems. Management of people. To this, he also adds selling and marketing skills. He puts equal emphasis on communication skills. He says there are many people who have the scientific bent and hence have a powerhouse of knowledge, but they fail miserably in communications. These are the people who are one skill away from great wealth. Chapter number 8. Overcoming obstacles. The primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear. There are 5 main reasons why financially literate people may still not develop abundant asset columns that could produce a large cash flow. The 5 reasons are: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, arrogance. He explains that while it's normal to have fear, what matters is how one handles it. For most people, the reason they don't win financially is because the pain of losing money is far greater than the joy of being rich. Chapter number 9. Getting started. There is gold everywhere. Most people are not trained to see it. This chapter serves as a section on tips to create and build personal wealth. His first tip is, find a reason greater than reality to motivate you. What he means by this is to wake up the financial genius in oneself by empowering the mind. He says that people must have a strong purpose for living. The author also advises people to choose friends carefully. He says to avoid people who proclaim incessantly that the sky is falling and instead encourages readers to spend time with people who enjoy talking about money because they may have valuable lessons to share. The author also believes that people should study one field, and then go out and learn a new one, although it is important to choose what one studies. Here is another tip that the author observes most people don't practice: pay yourself first. Even if short of cash, people must pay themselves first. This goes in tandem with managing three things efficiently: cash flow, people, and personal time. All of you are given two great gifts: your mind and your time. It is up to you to do what you please with both. With each dollar bill that enters your hand, you, and only you, have the power to determine your destiny. Spend it foolishly, and you choose to be poor. Spend it on liabilities, and you join the middle class. Invest it in your mind and learn how to acquire assets, and you will be choosing wealth as your goal and your future. The choice is yours, and only yours. Every day with every dollar, you decide to be rich, poor, or middle class. Choose to share this knowledge with your children, and you choose to prepare them for the world that awaits. No one else will. You and your children's future will be determined by the choices you make today, not tomorrow. We wish you great wealth and much happiness with this fabulous gift called life. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, must subscribe now. Don't forget to like and comment on the video. This will keep our motivation high. You can also follow us on Instagram. If you prefer watching the videos in the Hindi language, you can subscribe to our main channel, Readers Books Club. All links are available in the description. If you think this video can help others too, don't forget to share. See you soon with another amazing video. Thank you.